another benefit of this is when you're taking an exam and you need access to a definition or thesaurus, or if you're just writing a paper and you just want to have different words, this device will allow you to access a plethora of words right away, and it will actually cut your time in half taking a test, because you wouldn't have to thumb through a dictionary to try and find what you're looking for. Next is another program similar to WIN, but in actuality it's a program we talked, and it is called Dragon Naturally Speaking. And how it works is you train your voice in it by sitting with it and talking with it for about 30 minutes, and so it learns your particular verbal style. And then by speaking to it, it writes down everything you say. Just like WIN, it has a 60% accuracy rating, so it'll pick up the majority of the words, but here and there I may have trouble. And the benefit of having this is if you have problems typing your ideas out or thinking internally, you could actually speak to yourself aloud, and it will type everything you say aloud, which will actually be beneficial. When I'm studying, sometimes when I'm sitting there trying to type quietly or trying to process information quietly, I have difficulty. But when I speak to myself aloud as if I'm talking to another person, I understand the material better, or I get a better grasp, I understand the particular context of the material. And with this, you put the microphone on your head, have a general conversation, and sometimes what you say will be exactly what you wanted to write, and it will capture that perfectly. And another thing is, sometimes you say something, an idea that you want to put in a paper, and then when you go to sit down and type it or write it down, you forget. If you have this in front of you while you're spinning in your chair, or whatever kind of rituals you do when you're sitting on a computer, you'll be able to have more information because you'll have an option of speaking. Another benefit of this program is if you have physical limitations, problems with your hands, and you can't type that well, it allows you to speak to it and type everything down. It also has voice commands on the desktop that I will show you.
Start menu. All programs.
Here it's going to do some. Windows Media version of sound. Here is the audio file and transcribing it to a Word document. This, I had to download an MP3's podcast for someone who was going to take an exam, and they had auditory difficulty. So I had to use the Dragon program to transcribe. But this also works with the pulse pen. So if you are a student who's deaf or hard of hearing, you could actually digitally record the information either with a digital recorder or the pulse pen, convert it to MP3, and then just let the Dragon do the rest. They'll transcribe with 60% accuracy, and when you are transcribing, you may have to tweak the speed of the voice, because if it goes too fast, you can't detect certain sentences. And it's a very good tool, so not only do you have audio notes, but you can turn them into notes that could be printed out and written down, as well as students who are difficult hearing could actually have notes in front of them. And here, we have the rest of material that we offer here at NJCU. On the top left, you have the Victor Reader. It takes specialized CDs that we order for students, that are audio files, and they're allowed to read it. It's got a built-in firmware, so it'll actually save where you left it off in the specific chapter, even if you change the CDs. Here we have the basic microphone and earpiece. And if you have a nice professor and they're willing to, they would actually put a FM radio receiver here, the microphone here, and then you would have the earpiece and listen. So if you have difficulty hearing, they will, if they're willing, they will do that. Here we have a digital recorder that you just connect to the computer, and you can put it on your iPod and listen to lectures, or just use Dragon and transcribe it to an actual text format. And on the bottom left here, you have the autofocus, which is a electronic magnifier. It takes small text and turns it into big. And here we have a bigger version called the all-man magnifier, where you just take a piece of paper on that padding there in the middle, and you can magnify. And the best part about these two devices is, if you're dyslexic, it can actually change its color. So if you have difficulty picking up black and white, you can change it to red and yellow and other colors that are associated with dyslexia, because I know some students who have bunching, as they call it, where the words melt together in black and white. So they have to read on red paper or blue paper to see clearly. And over here we have a notebook we give to volunteers in our campus. We're called note takers. They go from class to class, taking notes with the students, and it's a carbon-style notebook. So what they write appears on another page, and they can give it to you. And if you don't want them to know who you are, they can take the page out, and the department will just give it to you when you come in, and your anonymity is maintained. That's it for the technology. If anyone has any questions.